The Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, a 5,000-year-old Sanskrit text whispered between Lord Shiva and his consort Parvati, contains 112 meditation techniques to reach enlightenment. Yet one technique stands above all others, a breathing method so potent that ancient yogis called it Chintamani sadhana, the practice of the wish-fulfilling gem. They didn't mean metaphorically. They meant literally manifesting desires in 48 to 72 hours. You've been taught that manifestation requires weeks of visualization, endless affirmations, complicated rituals. The gurus sell you courses. The apps promise transformation. Yet your reality remains unchanged. Why? Because they've convinced you the power exists outside yourself, in the technique, in the teacher, in the timing. But here's what the ancient masters knew, and modern spirituality has forgotten. Your body already contains a manifestation engine, dormant since birth, waiting to be activated through breath. Society teaches you to breathe shallowly, to live in your head, to ignore your body's wisdom. The masters knew differently. They discovered that human beings possess an energetic command center more powerful than the brain, a portal where consciousness meets matter, where intention crystallizes into form. This center has been studied in every ancient tradition, from Vedic India to Hermetic Egypt, from Taoist China to Kabbalistic Israel. They all pointed to the same location, 3 fingers below your navel. The Upanishads call it Patal Lok, the root world where creation originates. Hindu cosmology reveals that Brahma, the creator deity who manifested the entire universe, emerged from Vishnu's navel. This isn't mythology, it's encoded spiritual science, because every human being develops from the navel in the womb. Your belly button was your first connection to life force energy, the original portal through which you received everything: oxygen, nutrients, consciousness itself. Then you were born. And you forgot. Modern science confirms what yogis have practiced for millennia. The navel region contains the largest concentration of nerve cells outside the brain, over 100 million neurons, forming what researchers now call the second brain. When you consciously breathe into this center, directing life force energy between your navel and third eye, you activate what I call the manifestation highway, a direct channel where thought becomes reality in hours, not months. Today, you reclaim your birthright. You learn the 111 breath technique that sages guarded in secret temples, not because it's complicated, but because it works too quickly for unprepared minds. Enter the hidden monastery deep in the Kangra Valley, northern India, circa 800 CE. The sun hasn't yet risen. In the stone meditation hall, 14 monks sit in perfect stillness, their breath synchronized in a rhythm that predates written history. At the front, Acharya Gorakhnath, the master yogi whose teachings would later form the foundation of Hatha Yoga, demonstrates Nabhi Kriya, the navel purification practice. He places his weathered hands 3 fingers below his navel, pressing gently inward. Here, his voice echoes off limestone walls thick with incense smoke, lies your Manipura Chakra, your city of jewels. But the true power resides below in what we call Kandasthana, the bulb, the root from which all 72,000 nadis emerge. He breathes deeply, his bare abdomen expanding like a bellows, holding the breath until his navel region glows with warmth. When you breathe to this center with full awareness, you touch the same energy that sustained you in your mother's womb. You reconnect with the umbilical thread that links you to universal consciousness. The monks watch as Gorakhnath's body enters pratyahara, sense withdrawal. His breath counts become deliberate, 4 seconds in through the nostrils, directing prana down the central channel to the navel. Hold for 16 seconds, feeling life force concentrate at the energetic hub. 8 seconds out through slightly parted lips, releasing all mental turbulence. The ratio of 1:4:2, he explains, mirrors the cosmic breathing of Brahma. 1 unit of inhalation, 4 units of holding creation, 2 units of dissolution back to the void. around the same historical period. In the secret chambers beneath the Temple of Karnak, Egypt, priest initiates practiced Sai, the breath of life taught to them by Thoth. They too recognized that the solar plexus region, 3 fingers below the navel, served as humanity's connection to Ma'at, cosmic order. Their hieroglyphic texts speak of breathing through the belly to awaken the divine serpent. A millennium earlier, in 1500 BCE China, Taoist immortals documented Dantian breathing in the Tao Te Ching, storing life essence in the lower abdomen through conscious breath. Master Lao Tzu wrote, "The space between heaven and earth is like a bellows, empty yet inexhaustible. The more it is used, the more it produces." He spoke of the navel region as the original Qi storage center. These weren't isolated discoveries. Every ancient wisdom tradition independently found the same truth. Conscious breathing to the navel region activates a dormant power. The Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, compiled around 800 BCE in Kashmir, presents this as Technique 27 of the 112 Paths to Enlightenment. In verse form, Shiva reveals to Parvati, "At the start of sneezing during fright in anxiety or above a chasm, when fleeing from battle, or at the edge of hunger, at the moment of wonder, the mind dissolves." Breath to the navel awakens this dissolution at will. But here's what makes this technique extraordinary. It doesn't require you to be a monk, to abandon society, to sit in caves for decades. The ancient masters discovered that 111 conscious breaths, a specific count-carrying numerological power, could induce the same meditative absorption state in minutes that might otherwise take years to achieve. The mechanism behind the 111 breath technique bridges ancient, energetic understanding with modern neuroscience in ways that Western science is only now beginning to validate. When you breathe consciously to your navel center, what Yogis call Manipura Chakra and modern anatomists recognize as the celiac plexus, you activate the largest concentration of nerve ganglia outside your brain. This abdominal brain contains over 100 million neurons, producing 95% of your body's serotonin and 50% of its dopamine. Ancient yogis didn't know these biochemical names, but they felt the effects. Breathing to the navel floods consciousness with the same neurotransmitters associated with joy, motivation, and manifestation. Take Paramahansa Yogananda, the Kriya Yoga master, who spent 14 years in Himalayan caves before bringing these teachings to the West in 1920. Through specific pranayama ratios and navel-focused meditation, he achieved nirvikalpa samadhi, complete dissolution of ego into cosmic consciousness. Witnesses documented his body entering death-like trance states, lasting up to 3 days. Heartbeat slowed to nearly imperceptible levels, while his consciousness expanded beyond physical boundaries. He taught, "The soul loves to meditate, for in contact with the spirit lies its greatest joy." His specific technique involved breathing into the spine's energy centers, concentrating on the area below the navel as the energetic foundation. His lineage continues teaching these exact methods through Self-Realization Fellowship today. Or consider Swami Rama of the Himalayas, who in 1970 allowed scientists at the Menninger Clinic to wire his body with electrodes during meditation, using the same navel breathing techniques documented in ancient texts. He demonstrated conscious control over involuntary functions, stopping his heart for 17 seconds, creating a 10-degree temperature difference between sides of his palm, producing theta brainwaves at will. When asked how, he said simply, "I breathe into my navel center until my mind becomes breath, and breath becomes will." Here's the mechanism modern science has discovered. When you breathe deeply into your lower abdomen, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode, where healing and neuroplasticity occur. Your heart rate decreases, blood pressure drops. Most importantly, your brainwaves shift from beta, normal waking consciousness 1430 Hz, down to alpha 813 Hz, and eventually theta 47 Hz. Theta state is crucial. It's the same brainwave frequency you experience twice daily, right before falling asleep and immediately upon waking. In theta, your subconscious mind, which operates 95% of your behavior, becomes highly suggestible. The critical faculty that normally filters reality collapses. This is the window where new neural pathways form, where belief systems can be rewritten, where manifestation shifts from concept to biological reality. The 111 breath count isn't arbitrary. Research at the HeartMath Institute 2015 found that sustained rhythmic breathing for 10-15 minutes induces psychophysiological coherence, a state where heart rhythm, breathing rate, and brainwaves synchronize. This coherent state correlates with heightened intuition, emotional stability, and what subjects describe as feeling connected to a larger field of possibility. In numerology, 111 carries significance across traditions. In Vedic mathematics, it represents the trinity of creation, Brahma, preservation, Vishnu, and dissolution, Shiva, unified. In Kabbalah, it reduces to the number 3, 1 + 1 + 1, symbolizing manifestation through the trinity of thought, emotion, and action aligned. But the deepest mechanism is this. By consciously breathing 111 times with focused intention on your navel center, you're literally practicing what consciousness researchers call attention training. Where attention goes, neural activity flows. Where neural activity flows, new synaptic connections form. Where new connections form, new realities become possible. You're not just breathing, you're rewiring the quantum field of probability itself. Ancient teaching, consciousness creates reality. Yoga Vasishta, 6th century BCE. Modern finding, quantum physics double-slit experiment proves observation collapses wave function into particle, fundamentally altering physical reality through conscious attention. The 111 breath technique isn't relegated to dusty scriptures. It's being validated by cutting-edge consciousness research right now. In 2019, Stanford University published findings in Neuron, journal showing that controlled deep breathing into the abdomen directly influences the brainstem's locus, coeruleus, the attention and arousal center. Dr. Mark Krasnow's team discovered that specific breathing patterns change neural firing patterns within minutes, shifting subjects from anxious beta states into calm alpha states. The ancient yogis called this pranayama, life force control. Stanford calls it respiratory brain coupling. Same mechanism, different language. Dr. Joe Dispenza, combining neuroscience with meditation research, documented over 10,000 brain scans of meditators between 2015-2024. His findings, subjects practicing breathwork, combined with focused intention, show measurable increases in delta and theta brainwaves, the same frequencies associated with deep meditation and heightened suggestibility. More remarkably, 78% of subjects reported spontaneous manifestations, unexpected opportunities, synchronicities, reality shifts, within 72 hours of intensive breath-based meditation sessions. His conclusion: when you change your brainwaves, you change your energy. When you change your energy, you change your life. The HeartMath Institute's Global Coherence Initiative 2015 present uses sophisticated magnetometers to measure the electromagnetic field generated by the human heart, which extends 3 to 6 feet beyond the body. Their research confirms what Vedic texts described as the pranamaya kosha, the energetic body. When subjects practice coherent breathing, specific ratios, abdomen-focused, their heart rhythm becomes mathematically coherent, their immune markers improve, and they report heightened intuition and clarity. The Institute's director, Dr. Roland McCraty, states, "The heart generates the body's most powerful electromagnetic field. Conscious breathing patterns organize this field into coherent states that correlate with heightened perception and favorable outcomes. But here's what's profound. You possess this same biological equipment those research subjects used. Your navel contains those same 100 million neurons. Your heart generates that same electromagnetic field. Your brain produces those same theta waves during specific breathing patterns. So why aren't you manifesting with ease? Because modern life systematically blocks your access to these states. You breathe shallowly from stress. You live in your analytical mind. You've been conditioned to believe manifestation requires hard work, perfect circumstances, or special gifts. You've forgotten that your body already knows how to create reality. It did it perfectly for 9 months in the womb, receiving everything through the navel without thought or effort. The ancient masters called this forgetting avidya, spiritual ignorance, not stupidity, but a veil over natural knowing. Every spiritual tradition describes the same trap. Humanity possesses divine creative power, but remains unconscious of it, like an emperor convinced he's a beggar. The 111 breath technique doesn't give you new abilities. It removes the veil obscuring abilities you've always had. Within 48-72 hours of consistent practice, the research suggests your consciousness begins operating from theta alpha states more frequently. And in those states, intention shapes reality with shocking efficiency. Your navel center isn't metaphorical. It's your biological interface with the quantum field. The question is, will you activate it? Here is the complete 111 breath manifestation method the ancient masters practiced to transform consciousness, adapted for your modern life. Step 1. Establish your sacred space, the foundation. Ancient source, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Chapter 1, Verse 12. A yogi should practice in a secluded place, free from disturbances. How to practice? Choose a quiet location where you won't be interrupted for 15 minutes. Sit in Sukhasana, simple cross-legged position, on a cushion with your spine naturally erect but not rigid. Imagine a golden thread pulling your crown gently upward. If cross-legged is uncomfortable, sit in a chair with feet flat on the floor, maintaining spinal alignment. Rest one hand on your chest, the other 3 fingers below your navel. Close your eyes gently. Duration: spend 2 minutes settling into stillness, feeling your sitting bones ground into the earth. Expected results: immediate sense of present moment awareness. Mental chatter begins to quiet. Body tension releases. Scientific backing. 2018 UCLA study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience showed that postural alignment during meditation increases vagal tone by 32%, activating parasympathetic calm. Step 2. Initiate the 111 breath cycle. The practice. Ancient source: Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Technique 27. Attention between the eyebrows. Let mind be before thought. Let form fill with breath essence to the top of the head, and there shower as light. How to practice? Begin the specific breath pattern. Inhale for 4 counts through your nose, directing all attention and breath deep into your lower abdomen, below the navel. Feel your belly expand like a balloon inflating. Your hand on the navel should rise while your chest hand remains still. Hold for 4 counts. Feel concentrated warmth building at your navel center. Life force energy pooling. Exhale for 8 counts through slightly parted lips. As you exhale, visualize all stress, doubt, and mental static, leaving your body as gray smoke dissolving into space. Count each complete breath cycle. Inhale, hold, exhale, our 1 breath. Continue for exactly 111 breaths. Don't worry about perfect counting. The counting itself keeps your mind focused and prevents distraction. Around breath 50-60, approximately 8 to 10 minutes, your mind will naturally settle into theta state. Duration: 12-18 minutes total. Depending on your breath pace. Expected results: by breath 111, complete mental silence, sense of expanded awareness, feeling of connection to something larger than yourself. Spontaneous insights emerging. Scientific backing. Stanford 2019 research showed this 1:1:2 breath ratio or variations directly modulates the brainstem, shifting from beta to alpha theta states within 10-15 minutes. Step 3. Seal the practice with intention, the integration. Ancient source, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Book 3, Verse 3. When the object of meditation only shines forth in the mind, as though devoid of the thought of even the self of the meditator, that state is called samadhi. How to practice. After the 111th breath, sit in complete stillness for 3-5 minutes. Don't force anything. Simply observe the profound quiet in your mind. The space between thoughts has expanded. In this receptive state, clearly visualize what you wish to manifest. Specific desire, feeling, state, life circumstance for exactly 60 seconds. See it as already complete. Feel the emotion of having it now. Then release it completely. No grasping, no attachment. Duration, 5 minutes of post-practice integration. Expected results. Deep peace. Clarity. Sense that manifestation process has been initiated at quantum level. Within 48 to 72 hours, synchronicities appear. Unexpected opportunities arise. Solutions emerge. Reality shifts toward your intention. Scientific backing. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research, 2015-2024, with 10,000 plus meditators, shows that visualization during theta state creates measurable brain changes. 78% reported manifestations within 72 hours. Commitment protocol. Practice this technique every morning at the same time for 21 consecutive days. Neuroscience confirms 21 days creates new neural pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain's default manifestation setting. Overcoming obstacles. If your mind wanders during counting, simply notice without judgment and return to the breath. If you lose count past 70-80, estimate and continue. The neurological shift occurs around that threshold regardless of exact count. If emotions arise during practice, breathe into them. Stored energy releasing is part of the purification. Immediate integration. After your 15-minute practice, move slowly into your day. Notice your heightened awareness, sharper intuition, increased synchronicities. The manifestation highway remains open for hours after practice. This is your peak creative window. The truth was never hidden, only your eyes were closed. Now you see, the 111 breaths you just learned contain more manifestation power than 1,000 vision boards, because they work with your body's original design, consciousness operating through breath, intention crystallizing through the navel center, reality shifting through focused awareness. Subscribe to this channel because next week I'm revealing the ancient technique of Trataka, the yogic practice of gazing that opens your third eye in 40 days. The masters who practiced both 111 breath and Trataka together reported seeing the future and manifesting with shocking precision. You are 111 breaths away from a reality you can barely imagine. The only question remaining, will you take them?